What action would you take if you were craving intimacy and decided to release the tension, only to have your younger brother unexpectedly walk into your room and catch you doing it? Now you're about to find out about my experience. My name is Emma. I'm 24 years old, and this incident happened just a few weeks ago when I came home for fall break. I hadn't been home in over 2 years due to studying abroad on another continent, but finally circumstances allowed me to buy a return flight ticket. Reuniting with my parents was incredibly emotional. I was overwhelmed with joy to be home again after such a long time apart. And then there was Nathan. Nathan is my little brother. We grew up together, so we were always around each other. He was a little younger than me, a clumsy guy. Back in the day, he was my shadow when we were younger, always tagging along behind me. But now, oh my God, when he walked in I barely recognized him. The skinny, shy boy I used to know had grown into a 6-foot, broad-shouldered guy with quiet confidence. In a tight black shirt, he looked like he had just stepped out of one of those glowing Instagram posts. I hugged him and felt the muscles in his back tense up. It was unrealistically cool. "You've grown," I said, pulling away, genuinely shocked. He only laughed, scratching the back of his head. "Yeah, it happens." It wasn't just the way he looked. He smelled amazing. I don't know if it was the cologne or just him, but he took me by surprise. For the rest of the evening, I caught myself looking at him, noticing little things I hadn't noticed before. His laugh deepened. There was a calm energy in his eyes. It was like meeting someone new, even though I'd known him all my life. Okay, let's get right to the point. That first night, after all the hugs, figuring out relationships, and stuffing my face with my mom's famous lasagna, I was completely exhausted. Traveling for 18 hours with connections and delays had drained me of all my energy. So after we all finally said goodnight to each other, I went upstairs to take a shower and just sleep in my old room. The thing is, my old room was pretty much the same as I had left it. My parents had remodeled part of the room into a guest room, but left all my posters, a bookshelf full of novels by famous writers, and even some high school stuff lying around everywhere. It was like stepping into a time capsule. Nostalgia overwhelmed me, but honestly, all I wanted to do was crawl into bed and pass out. So I took the shower, letting the hot water wash away the stiffness from the flight. It felt incredible, like my first real moment of peace in weeks. Once I was done, I put on a big t-shirt, turned off the light, and crawled under the covers. My room was cool and cozy, like only a childhood home can be. I don't know if it was the time zone change, the stress of school, or the fact that Nathan was back in my life like this, but as I lay there in the dark, my thoughts began to wander. Honestly, I hadn't had intimacy in a long time, a very long time. Between school, work, and life in general, I just haven't had the time or, frankly, the energy to connect with someone like this. So I thought, why not take some time to myself? I was alone, the house was quiet, and it seemed like the perfect moment to relax. I closed my eyes and let my hands wander, just running them over my skin. The sensation was soft, soothing, like I was reconnecting with myself. My fingertips touched my lips, then my neck, and I felt the warmth building inside me. But my mind betrayed me, because all of a sudden Nathan's face flashed into my thoughts. It wasn't as I'd planned, but he was there, his clear jawline, the slightly disheveled hair, the quiet confidence he now carried. I felt the heat in my chest, and then lower, spreading through me like wildfire. I tried to brush the sensation away, telling myself it was just my brain working weird, because I hadn't seen him in years, but the thought wouldn't leave me. The more I tried to push it away, the stronger it got. I kept imagining him, how he had changed, how his deep laugh had changed. I imagined his arms around me, how hard he was under my hands, and before I knew it, I stopped fighting the thought. I slid my fingers lower, letting myself lose myself in the growing warmth. My breathing began to change, becoming shallow and quick, As I sank into the moment, the room became even quieter, as if the whole world had disappeared except for me, and this strong feeling growing inside me. Then he reappeared in my mind, Nathan. This time I did not try to stop him. I imagined his strong and confident hands touching my skin, his voice low and teasing, saying my name. It was so vivid, like he was there with me, and I couldn't help but give in to the fantasy. My body reacted instantly to the movements of his fingers, the way my body arched. It was all like electricity. Every nerve in my body was alive, and the warmth I had felt before turned into something I couldn't ignore. It was the perfect combination of comfort and excitement, like I was experiencing something new, yet familiar at the same time. And let me tell you, it wasn't just a physical sensation, but an emotional one as well. Maybe it was the fact that Nathan had been such a big part of my life as a child. Or maybe it was the shock of seeing him again after so long, looking and acting like a completely different person. Whatever it was a powerful feeling. I let myself go, giving myself over to the moment completely. My hands moved more and more confidently, and my breathing became heavier and heavier. The image of Nathan in my head became clearer and clearer, his hands on my waist, his lips on my ear. It was forbidden, because